Hello and welcome back to Full Count, where I will be talking about the current baseball season as it goes. We are very early in, um, but yeah, I figured this would be the perfect time to start the episode 1 of the regular season episodes. I think it's fair to say that if I did it week 1, it would just be full of overreactions. So I thought this was a good time to start. As you can see the lineup next to me, we will be talking about the ABS, which teams, which players have been the most effective. We'll go division by division, talk about kind of what's happening there, even though it's very early, some standings. Um, Give kind of my awards if they were to end now, a little bit of overreacting, and then panic meters, who you should worry about, who you shouldn't be worried about if they are off to a slow start. And surprise teams, we'll end it off. And yeah, kind of just talk ball. So, leading off, let's get into this ABS. Looks like most effective team so far is the Cincinnati Reds. Just this is going to be a very short segment. I just kind of want to track it as the season goes on and see if there's some teams that are doing just way better than others with it. The least effective team so far has been the Chicago White Sox. Um, my guess would be that it has to come from youth. Just like they don't know the strike zones as well. They haven't been in a league as long. Maybe. Or I don't know. Maybe there's team rules that some of these, like maybe the Reds have a team rule. But yeah, top of the leaderboard, Reds, Mets, Marlins have been most effective with, they win about, I don't know, 58% or better of their challenges with the ABS system. Um, yeah, I mean, kind of just random. I just want to see if there's patterns that follow throughout the year. If you know, if the Reds are somebody like that's just getting more wins because of how well they're using their ABS. Right now they're 18-8 on ABS, so 69% win percentage on their guesses. Um, but I don't know. It's interesting. Their batters are the best in the league. The best catchers in the league go to Detroit Tigers. Dylan Dingler back there. I don't know. It's kind of just interesting to see what's going to happen with that. If some teams, if some players will kind of just dominate. But yeah, bottom of the list looks like the White Sox, Braves, Red Sox. It's way too early to say anything about this. But I think it's going to be interesting to follow this year because it's a new rule. And I'm just curious to see kind of what happens with that. In terms of batters, the best one's been Munetaka Murakami, who is on the White Sox. So their team's doing the worst, but he is actually in the lead. Ivan Herrera from the Cardinals, Marcelo Zuna from the Pirates, and Aaron Judge, Ellie De La Cruz, top 5 there. The worst ones would be, I don't even know. Can I reverse this? Whatever. Oh, worst ones, Mauricio Dubon, Spencer Torkelson, Nolan Shanwell, Brian Reynolds, Hunter Goodman. Kind of just interesting. We'll see if the patterns follow. Wouldn't read much into this yet, but I just kind of want to track it each week and see what happens. So yeah, that is the ABS segment. Now I want to get into standings. We'll kind of just go by them, say if you're worried or not, type of thing. So Rays are leading the AL East, tied with the Yankees and Orioles. Couldn't say we expected that. The Rays are an interesting team so far. They are raking. They're 9th in runs in the entire league, 8th in OPS, 5th in batting average. So off to a good start with the bats, which I think we expected. And the pitching's been decent. I mean, batting average against ranks 9th in the league, so they've been kind of getting it done. They just swept the Yankees, which is big, obviously. But no, they're off to a good start. I don't expect this to stay true. But yeah, I mean, Yankees are off to a good start as well. They were off to a way better start before getting swept by the Rays. Not too worried about them. Orioles, 8-7, off to a good start. Pete Alonso is not off to a great start, which is very interesting. He's hitting 190. He's just got 1 homer. Not worried about Pete Alonso. I think he will be just fine. Blue Jays at 4. fourth in the division, 6-9, tied with the Red Sox. This is a team I'm worried about, folks. 2 of the last 10. They've won 2 of the last 10. But I even said, okay, going into this year, I said I'm worried about the Blue Jays. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs again. And they're not off to an ideal start. It's a different 6-9 than the Red Sox 6-9. Like the Blue Jays lost a series to the Twins. They got swept by the White Sox. Lost a series to the Rockies. Not an ideal start to the year for the Blue Jays. I just worry a little bit about the pitching, to be honest with you. But Dylan Cease looks pretty sharp. Just kind of how it is. So Blue Jays worried about. We'll get later in the panic meter if I'm that panicked or not. Red Sox 5th in the AL East as it stands right now, 6-9. But they are heating up. It was a brutal start, I believe, 2-8. They just took a series from the Cardinals and Brewers, so that's always good. Lost series to Padres, swept by the Astros, lost series to the Reds. So the start of the season wasn't good. But I really am not concerned about them at all. Kind of just middle of the pack right now, but they're going to pitch, and that's always important. The bats are going to come. I'm not worried about the Red Sox, honestly, in the slightest. So we will get to panic meters later. AL Central Twins are leading the division 9-7. Guard Dogs tied 9-7 as well. Twins are hot. Twins just beat the Blue Jays in a series. Swept the Tigers in a 4-game series, which is pretty crazy. So, no, it's been a fun last 2 series for them. And they are hitting the ball. They are hitting the baseball right now. It's early, but they are hitting the baseball. 6th in runs. So, just kind of producing. 5th in homers is a big one. So, and Taj Bradley's been lights out for them. Joe Ryan's obviously Joe Ryan. But no, Luke Keeshaw's been decent. But Tristan Gray is a guy that's kind of balling out. Josh Bell is doing his thing. He's absolutely going nuts. Royce Lewis had 2 homers before hopping on the 10-day IL. Ryan Jeffers is doing well from the catcher position. So they're kind of just getting production from their guys. Even Brooks Lee has 2 homers, and I think he is one of the worst hitters in the league. So Trevor Larnach's doing good. Austin Martin's doing his job. I mean, they're kind of just raking all along. And Taj Bradley, we've known for a while, has a big ceiling as a starting pitcher. So be interesting to see if that is a pattern that continues throughout the rest of the year, because that gives them a good 1-2 punch. And then when Pablo Lopez comes back next year, I believe it's next year, a really good first 3. So, and they have some young bats. So kind of fun for the Twins, but do I expect them to stay in first? No, I don't. Royals 7-9, Tigers 7-9. Royals had an interesting start to the year. Kind of just been decent. They just took a series from the White Sox. Or no, they split with the White Sox. It was a 4-gamer. Lost series to the Guardians. Lost series to the Brewers. Beat the Twins. Whatever. So they are... the offense has been really lacking from them. I don't think Bobby Witt's gotten going yet. Just hitting... Yeah, he's 0 homers, 271. Not like he's been bad, but hasn't gotten the full Bobby Witt experience. Michael Garcia's off to a good start. But yeah, I mean, the offense has not been producing. They are 26th in runs. Pitching hasn't been bad. Pitching and defense, batting average against the 12th, 13th in runs given up. Am I too worried about them? I don't know. We will see. Detroit Tigers, 7-9 as well. Been interesting for them, but they just won 3 straight, so I think they're turning the corner here. They just swept the Marlins, which are not the same Marlins anymore. That's a good Marlins team, after getting swept in 4 games by the Twins. So I think they're fine. I'm not too concerned at all with 7-9, but we'll get there. They've won 3 in a row, and they'll take on the Royals here soon, so we got a little division matchup. White Sox, 6-10. They have not been as exciting as I had hoped offensively. Surprisingly, the pitching, I feel like, hasn't been as bad. The bullpen's been bad, but pitching itself, like starting pitching, has been kind of fun. For the White Sox, though, 30th in runs, 30th in OPS, 30th in batting average, 30th in total bases. Like, there's no offense here right now. Their team batting average is 193. That's not going to win you ball games, even though they've been fine. I mean, swept the Blue Jays, split the series with the Royals. They're a competent team. I don't think this is the same old White Sox. We will get there, though. 5th in the AL Central for now, and there's obviously a possibility it stays that way all year. But I don't view the Twins and White Sox much differently. Now to the AL West. Texas Rangers 8-7, A's 8-7, Angels 8-8, Mariners 7-9, and Astros 6-10. This is going to be a fun division to watch all year because there is some real talent around here. If we're talking Angels, you're talking Jose Soriano has been unreal. 4-0 with a 0.33 ERA, leads the league in strikeouts and third innings pitched. So he's been pretty awesome. The Angels are 500, and it's kind of fun. I don't know much else. I mean, the batting average against, their pitching's been great, is 5th. They're 8th in runs scored, 3rd in homers, so they're just raking. They just took a series from the Reds after taking a series. No, they split. Lost to the Angels, beat the Reds, beat the Mariners. So, I don't know. Good start to them. They probably should have taken the series from the Astros, but that was very early on. Angels, 8-8, 500, fun. Rangers, 8-7. They just beat the Dodgers last night. This is Monday. I'm recording this on. Just beat the Dodgers last night, but they did lose that series. They swept the Mariners, got swept by the Reds, beat the Orioles, and beat the Phillies. So it's been fun for them. Interested to see if the Rangers can be back. Brandon Nimmo's having a really good start for them. Corey Seager is hitting homers, but not average. Jake Berger looks like he might be back to kind of get in his power. But no, the rotation's the big thing. DeGrom, Mackenzie Gore, Jacob Latz even has been good. They like pitching in general has been pretty good. Tyler Alexander's a guy in the pen that looks sharp. Yeah, I mean, Nathan Eovaldi's really the one that's doing bad, and can't be many worries about him right now. So that is where your standings are at there. And yeah, the A's are kind of just average right now. Maybe a little below average. They're 8-7 though. The record says they're good. 5 wins in a row, taking a series from the Yankees and sweeping the Mets. They rake. You look at this Astros series, they won 12-10 and 11-4. That's some runs. The Astros haven't given up a lot of runs. We'll get to them here soon with the AL West. So it would be a fun team to watch all year. They're first in the league in errors, so they haven't made errors, which is always good. But yeah, they've won 5 in a row, so the A's are hot. Shea Langoliers is banging homers all around. Max Muncy has actually looked pretty good. Brent Rooker's down for a bit. Nick Kurtz started off very slow, but he is picking it up from what I've seen. Jeff McNeil's been pretty productive for them. Aaron Savali, just on the pitching side, he's been awesome. 5 innings, 2 earned, 5 innings, 1 earned, 5 innings, 5.2 innings, 0 earned. Been pretty good. He's been pretty good. So, I don't know. Aaron Savali's kind of a fun little start to the season, I would say. 1.72 ERA on the year. Carlos Cortez is also a guy that's kind of outperforming. Do I expect that to last? Not necessarily, but there's some fun things going on. Some really fun things going on in wherever they are. But the A's, I don't want to call them the Vegas A's yet. So we could call them the Sacramento A's, but whatever. I'm going to call them just the A's. The A's are 8-7 and they look fun. Mariners 7-9. They've won 3 in a row, so I'm not quite worried about that record. Randy's off to a good start. The big thing, Big Dumper's hitting 133 with 2 homers. He's going to be fine. J-Rod's also hitting below 200. So your 2 stars here are really just letting you down for Seattle. But obviously, don't expect that to stay the pattern for the rest of the year. So, not too concerned yet, but we will get there on the panic meter section. Emerson Hancock's kind of a guy that's been pretty solid to start the year, so that's kind of fun. And then Astros 6-10, but I'd say, I mean, they just got, they lost 7 in a row. But this team can hit. I mean, this team can hit. They got to figure out the pitching, but they're first in runs, second in OPS, second in average, second in total bases, third in homers. So they can hit. That's the thing. They are 30th in runs given up, though. They quite literally just give up way too many runs. They just got swept by the Rockies and Mariners, which we'll get to the Rockies later, but interesting stuff. But they can score, man. They can score. They always score. I'm not worried about them just because how good I think their offense is. And you guys saw where I ranked them in the preseason rankings. Very high. So I don't know. I think midway through the year, I'll kind of react to my rankings and maybe compare, see how I'm doing. But, you know, Jordan's raking, Christian Walker's raking, Jose Altuve is raking. The whole team is just hitting the baseball like crazy. Cam Smith's looked good. Carlos Correa looks good. So, yeah, it's kind of going to be fun to watch, see if this offense stays legit all year like I thought it would be. But the pitching definitely needs to figure out what they're doing because Hunter Brown's down, and that was your guy. Really big hit for them. Lance McCullers Jr. is not very good. Tatsuya Mai looks like a mess, but he did have a good outing once against the A's, which is a good hitting team, as we know. 5.2 innings, 0 runs, 9 Ks. But then, you know, there's stuff going on there. So, I don't know. This pitching needs to figure it out. Jeremy Pena hasn't really got going yet. He'll get going. He's kind of been day-to-day. So, interesting stuff there in the AL, just in total. I mean, today, if it ended, your playoffs would look like the Twins as the 1 seed, Rangers 2 seed, Rays, Guardians, Athletics, Yankees, Orioles. That's not going to stay the same. So, overreactions are fun, but they are overreactions. NL East. Atlanta Braves are leading the NL East. Are they back? Marlins 8-8 in second. Phillies 7-8. Nationals 7-8. Mets 7-9. Interesting, kind of. God, the Nationals are an interesting thing, but we'll go from top to bottom here. So, Braves 10-6. They've been raking. Third in runs, third in OPS, third in average, third in total bases, second in homers, first in runs given up. So they've been pitching. Second in OPS against, first in batting average against, second in total bases allowed. The Atlanta Braves are off to a start that we're all hoping to see. We know what this team used to be and just kind of hoping that they stay the same. Drake Baldwin looks like a monster. Matt Olson looks awesome. Mauricio Dubon's even producing. Dominic Smith has been really good. Ozzie Albies looks like he might be back. Ronald Acuna is and Austin Riley are kind of struggling. Michael Harris has been pretty good. But yeah, I mean, pitching-wise, they're also kind of just shoving it down your throat. Bryce Elder's been good. Obviously, Chris Sale has been pretty good. And even Grant Holmes has looked good. I don't expect those guys to stay. Ronaldo Lopez is suspended, but he was looking good. So there's stuff going on here in Atlanta, and I think it's really fun to see them back in action because it's a fun team to watch. Marlins 8-8, but I mentioned earlier they just got swept. Not really worried about it, though. I think this is a good team. But yeah, they just got swept by the Detroit Tigers, who were struggling. But no, I mean, Marlins have been good. 9th in runs, so top of the pack kind of. 4th in OPS against, so they're pitching. Batting average against, second. They're pitching. They're doing their stuff. Yeah, I mean, Marlins are good. I think Owen Casey, my Rookie of the Year pick, is actually kind of doing his thing. He's looking legit. Xavier Edwards is looking good. Otto Lopez looks pretty good. Javier Sanoja is looking pretty good. Jacob Marzy's off to a slow start, but I think he's very good. Griffin Conine's been playing well. although he did just get injured, not anything serious, I think. And then Connor Norby's been pretty good. Yeah, I mean, kind of fun. Sandy Alcantara is the big story here, in my opinion. He looks fully back, except for, I mean, all right, ignore that Detroit outing, but the way he started off that year, he went 7 innings, 0 runs, 9 innings, 0 runs, 7 Ks, 8.1 innings, 2 runs. That looks like Sandy Alcantara to me. That looks like he's back. That's pretty awesome. First in the league in innings pitched. So, I don't know. If we see the old Sandy, this Marlins team does look really fun. It already is fun, but could look more legit. Yuri Perez, off to a bit of a slower start, but I think he's legit. So, Marlins are fun. Phillies 7-8, a little underwhelming start for them. Just lost a series to the D-backs and the Giants. They beat the Rockies, beat the Nationals, whatever. So these last two series, tough. They've lost close games. 4-3 D-backs, 4-3 Phillies, 5-4 D-backs. Tough. Kind of got smoked by the Giants. But no, they're just not producing an offense for a team that really is supposed to be pretty good on offense. I mean, if you go back to my Phillies episode, you can watch it. I had concerns about the offense. I'm not going to say that I'm right yet at all. It's obviously very early. But there are concerns. Pitching also has not been that good besides Christopher Sanchez, obviously, has been great. I think some bullpen issues are arising. Jesus Luzardo is not off to a good start. Aaron Nola has looked decent, and Andrew Painter's looked pretty good. I think Aaron Nola might be back to his old self. Brad Keller's a guy they picked up last year who was awesome with the Cubs. He's got a 5 ERA. So kind of just some struggles right now. Am I reading too far into it yet? Probably not. But if you guys watched the Phillies video, you know that I definitely had concerns for them and even thought about like a team that would not be making the playoffs. And I know Philly fans are going to hate to hear that, but we will get into it in the Panic Meter segment. Nationals 7-8 have been outperforming incredibly. They're fourth in runs. So they're just raking. Fourth in runs, fourth in OPS, fourth in average, fourth in total bases, fifth in homers. So they're just like the fourth best offense in baseball right now in many different segments. So awesome. 29th in runs given up, though. We know that their pitching sucks. That was the big issue going into this year is like who is going to pitch for these guys. But, I mean, some fun things like C.J. Abrams starting off the year incredible. He's hitting 321. He's got 4 homers. James Wood is doing James Wood things. He's got 5 homers, 274. Joey Weimer's off to an incredible start. So, no, they got some fun things. Curtis Meade's actually been pretty good from every time I watch. Foster Griffin is off to a good start as well. I don't know. It's an interesting. Cade Cavalli's also, he looked good when I've watched. So, Nats are off to a good start. They're kind of outperforming a lot. They won 3 in a row. I don't know. Nationals are overperforming, but they're gonna get last in this division. Mets 7-9. Interesting. They lost 5 in a row. They can't really hit right now. I believe Francisco Lindor has 0 RBIs. My roommate told me last night, so that's kind of brutal. Nolan McLean's shoving. Clay Holmes is shoving. Freddie Peralta's doing Freddie Peralta things. So the pitching, I feel like, hasn't been too bad. I think there are some bullpen concerns. But like I mentioned, Lindor's hitting 188, 0 homers, 0 RBIs. Kodai Senga has struggled, but I think he'll be fine. Jorge Polanco's hitting 184. There's things going on here that you don't like, but not worried. Juan Soto goes down, and they've been struggling a bit. I think they'll be just fine when he comes back. Luis Robert has looked good for them, or Luis Robert, however you want to say it. He's looked really good, so I'm curious to see if that pattern continues for the Mets. But I'm not worried about them at all. As you guys know, based on my rankings, the Mets I have very high. So, yeah, I mean, Mets, not not concerned, but we'll get to the panic meter later. I keep saying that, but I'm kind of, whatever, foreshadowing it. Pirates 9-6, Reds 9-7, Cardinals 8-7, Brewers 8-7, and the Cubs 7-8. The NL Central looks very good to start the year. This Pirates team has been incredibly legit, and O'Neal Cruz looks like the truth. We knew they were going to pitch. We knew the pitching was going to be there, but questions always, is the offense going to be there? Last year, worst offense in baseball. This year, it is starting off pretty good. It's about a little above average. 12th in runs, 9th in OPS, 11th in average, whatever. 8th in homers. So they're doing it offensively. They're doing plenty enough. If Paul Skeens, if Bubba Chandler's on the mound, when they get, Mitch Keller always puts a good outing. And, they just need to be a decent offense. They don't need to be anything crazy. But O'Neal Cruz has been crazy. He's hitting .339 with 5 homers, 1 OPS, 20 hits, 7th in the league. He has 6 bags, which is 4th in the league. He's been awesome. Not great defensively in center field, as we know, but really been good. Ryan O'Hearn has a good start. Brandon Lau has been hitting for power. Brian Reynolds has been doing Brian Reynolds things. But no, like I mentioned, Mitch Keller, Braxton Ashcraft has looked really good. Paul Skeens, of all people, is off to the worst start. Probably on the team. I'm going to mess up his name, but Carmen Lodzinski, whatever, he pitched really well the time I was watching the other day. Bullpen's pretty fun, too. They got a lot of hard throwers out there. Dennis Santana, Gregory Soto looks good against lefties. And then you got exciting guys. You got Connor Griffin. Really good bench player is Jake Mangum. As I mentioned in the Pirates episode, I was very high on them. Henry Davis doesn't look like he's figured it out at the plate yet, but the lineup looks really fun. The pitching is obviously, as we expected, very fun. And, really good start for the Pirates. Be interested to see if it continues. They play the Nationals this week, so I think that's going to help the record a bit as well. Reds, same record, 9-7. And I don't know how. They haven't been hitting. They haven't really been pitching that well. They're just kind of winning ball games, which, welcome to Tito ball. Terry Francona just does this. And also, like I mentioned earlier, they are the top of the ABS. Don't look anything into it yet, but Terry Francona seems like one of those coaches that would have maybe some rule about when they can use it, when they can't use it, and maybe it's helping them get a little bit of extra wins. So, Reds off to a good start, but 26th in the offense in runs, 27th in average, 29th in OPS. So, season-wise, not great start. Sal Stewart has been awesome. Ellie has been awesome. Eugenio's done kind of what he does, low average power. Matt McClain's off to a pretty bad start. Andrew Abbott, who was phenomenal last year, is off to a bad start. Chase Burns has looked decent. Spencer Steer, bad start. Rhett Lauder's been pretty good. Bullpen's been really good for the most part. Tyler Stevenson's off to a bad start. TJ Friedl's off to a bad start. Nathaniel Lowe. But it's not really hitting, but they're winning. And that is what Terry Francona does to a team. 9-7, second in the NL Central. Don't expect that to stay that way. Just lost a series to the Angels and the Marlins, or they split with the Marlins, I should say. But I'm not really worried about the Reds. I don't think they're going to be amazing by any means. But if you're a Reds fan, I'm sure you're optimistic right now, and no reason not to be. Cardinals have been hitting the ball pretty well for their standards. They did just lose 2 in a row, but they're still above 500, 8-7, and they sit third in the NL Central. 66 runs scored so far, which ranks them 12th in the league. 8th in homers. They've been interesting. Jordan Walker's been really, really interesting. He leads the league in home runs. He's hitting .327. We knew he had this ability in him. Just when was it going to come? We didn't know. But it looks like it's coming now, and that's pretty fun, I think. So, yeah, all the Jordan Walker truthers that are staying strong, they're probably very excited, and they should be because he has had an awesome start to the year. We'll see if it continues, though. I don't. I think it can continue. I think he's very good. He's always had the ability, but Alec Burleson's off to a pretty good start. JJ Weatherall's a little coming back down to the surface. Michael McGreevy's been pretty good for them, which I definitely hated on him in the Cardinal video. Mason Wynn's off to a bad start. Andre Palante off to a bad start. Liberatore, bad. I mean, I just don't. Dustin May. The pitching's not good. I never did believe in the pitching. So 8-7 is probably the best it's ever gonna get for. I mean, I know it was better than that. It was what 8-5, but 8-5 is the best it's gonna get for the Cardinals. I don't really see them staying above 500 much longer at all. I'm drinking milk, by the way. Deal with it. Brewers 8-7, tied with the Cardinals. Fourth in the NL Central, have lost 5 in a row. They were 8-2 and now 8-7. Brewers fans are probably pissed off. They just lost to the Red Sox, who were really struggling, and then got swept by the Nationals of all teams. Not very Brewer-like start for them. And the most, I'd say with this National Series too, like the bullpen, the most uncharacteristic thing for the Brewers ever is to have a bad bullpen. And it's kind of been that way. Uribe even gave up a lot of runs, I think, yesterday. And who's really struggling is the closer. And Trevor McGill has an 11.25 ERA. So that's not like him. I don't expect that to stay that way. But the offense has been awesome, and that's what the Brewers do. They're going to score runs. They're 5th in the league in runs, 5th in the league in OPS, 8th in homers. They have been scoring. They will take on the Blue Jays this week, so I think they can get back on their feet. Bryce Strang's been doing well. Christian Yelich been doing well. Garrett Mitchell's been doing well. And William Contreras has also been doing well. Gary Sanchez has 4 homers, too, so that's kind of a wild thing going on there. Mizorowski's off to a good start. Brandon Woodruff off to a bit of a slow start, but I think he'll be fine. Chad Patrick's been pretty good for them as well. So, interesting stuff. Wouldn't read too much into it. It's the Brewers. They'll probably be fine, but we can maybe get a little panic meter on these guys later. We'll see what happens there. Cubs 7-8. Not worried about these guys. They've been pitching lights out without Matthew Boyd, without Cade Horton, their 2 best pitchers. 4th in runs against, 4th in batting average against, third in total bases allowed, 5th in OPS against. Like, they're pitching the lights out. 12th in runs. Batting average is very low. Thing with them, so Ian Happ's hitting below 200. PCA's hitting 203. Dansby's hitting 163. Bregman's hitting 213. Really bad start. Michael Busch, who was, by on all accounts last year, their best hitter, hit 130. He's hitting 135. I think a big thing for them is they just got Seiya Suzuki back. I think he'll be just fine. Slide in that lineup. Moises Ballesteros is looking good for my Rookie of the Year pick in the NL. He is hitting 294 with 6 RBIs, 813 OPS. He's been pretty solid, but gonna be hard. So I mean, the replacement starters, you're looking at Colin Ray, and you're looking at Javier Assad, who Javier Assad's always been good, but yeah, I don't know. And then we're almost done with the segment. NL West: Dodgers 11-4, Padres 10-6, Diamondbacks 9-7, Giants 6-10, Rockies 6-10. Dodgers have been awesome, as expected. 2nd in runs, 1st in OPS, 1st in average, 1st total bases, 1st in homers, 4th in runs against, 4th in OPS against, 3rd in batting average against. You get the point. They're dominating. They're 11-4. They beat the Rangers, beat the Blue Jays, swept the Nationals, lost series to the Guardians, which is very Guardians of the Guardians to do. Swept the D-backs. But yeah, no, I mean, Dodgers off to a good start. They're doing exactly what we expected. Andy Pajes has been incredible. Shohei has been incredible. He's got a 996 OPS and a 0.00 ERA on the mound. It's really special stuff what this guy does, and still don't think it's talked about much. He's got 5 homers on the year. Totally on pace for MVP. Teoscar Hernandez is hitting 300. Pretty fun. Freddie Freeman's off to a bit of a slowish start, but not really. He's got 3 homers. He's in 260. Cal Tucker's been a little slow start. Not worried. Will Smith's hitting right about 300. Everybody's doing their thing. Tyler Glass now not a great start. Yamamoto, great start. One thing with them, I think, is maybe Edwin Diaz, slow start, but I think it's really just inflated from the Texas Rangers outing of his 1 inning, 3 runs. Emmett Sheehan hasn't looked great if you want to knock him maybe. Ha-Seong Kim's looked good, by the way. Roki Sasaki has also not looked great. 6 ERA on that fella. So, I don't know. I don't know if you want to read much into that. And then you go to Padres, 10-6, but they were really struggling before this Rocky series. So all it takes is a Rocky series for a team to turn around. They've won 5 in a row. They swept the Rockies in 4 games. Took the series from the Pirates and took the series from the Red Sox. So they're really hot. They're really hot. I don't know. They're 7th in runs scored. Defensively, 9th in runs allowed. I don't know. 8th in OPS against. Like they're pitching well. 8th in homers. They're kind of just playing good baseball on both sides. Jackson Merrill's off to a bit of a slow start as well as Manny Machado. But Ramon Laureano kind of picking up some of that. Xander Bogaerts hit a walk-off the other night. Gavin Sheets, that grand slam. We all seen it. And Mason Miller is doing things at a historic rate. He is just stupid good. When he comes and closes, it's 1 inning, 3 Ks. So he's been awesome. Pitching in general has been pretty good. Michael King's doing solid, obviously. Nick Castellanos has actually been playing, which I don't know if I expected him to play all that much, but he has been playing not very well, though. Walker Buehler's looked a little rough for them, but nothing much on that. Jeremiah Estrada is injured for a bit here. We'll see on them. I don't know if I expect 10-6 is pretty high for them. I think they're just hot right now. I wouldn't say it's going to be like that all year. 9-7, Arizona Diamondbacks. 3rd in the NL West. Corbin Carroll's hitting .327 with 2 homers. Jose Fernandez off to a good start. Eduardo Rodriguez off to a really good start on the mound. He's only given up, I think, like 1 run all year. Ketel Marte is off to a very slow start for his standards. Gabriel Moreno has been solid. Geraldo Perdomo is actually off to a slow start after his monster season last year. Michael Soroka has looked good on the mound, and Zach Gallen's looked pretty solid as well. Ryan Nelson, the numbers don't quite show it, but I think he's looked really good and kind of just put them in ball games. So D-backs off to a good year, and I love that for him. Matt Chapman off to a good start, whereas we're going into the San Francisco Giants. They are 6-10, so the team itself, not a great start. They just lost the series to the Orioles, but they beat the series against the Phillies. We know the start was rough. They got swept by the Mets. Or no, not swept, but they lost 3 of 4 against the Mets. Beat the Padres in their series, and obviously got swept in the season opener against the Yankees. So, curious to see where all this Tony Vitello stuff goes. I think that's going to be interesting. Luis Ariz is hitting 300 as expected. Robbie Ray's off to a good start. I don't know. Logan Webb's not really off to a good start, but not concerned there. Rafi, I think, is starting to get it going now. Jung-Ho Lee off to a slow start as well. They're 8th in the league in batting average, but 29th in runs. So there's not scoring runs. I don't know. The pitching hasn't been good. 23rd in runs let up. So I don't know. I am rambling though. This episode's getting long. Rockies 6-10, lost their last four after beating the Astros and losing the Phillies. But yeah, they're I don't know. I don't know what to think about this Rockies team. They've been fun. I'll give them that. They've been fun. And TJ Rumfield's a guy that has been fun to watch. Mickey Moniak is hitting for power. He's got 5 homers on the year. Troy Johnston's been pretty fun. Hunter Goodman, it looks like he'll be right on track. Tomoyuki Sugano, that guy from the Orioles, I didn't say his name right, but he's off to a good start for them. Kyle Freeland, Antonio Senzatella, they're kind of just pitching right now. I don't know. Rockies, I don't expect much. I hate to hate, but 6-10, this might be the best it gets. 4 games below 500. So, yeah, Rockies, not much there. Not much there on the Rockies. Let's move next in this lineup. Awards, if I were to give them out right now. So this is going to be a total overreaction segment, but I am going to do my awards. So let's start with, let's go Rookie of the Year, and let's hop into the AL Central, because I'm going Kevin McGonigal. What he's done to start the year, he's hitting .322. He's got 19 hits, which is 11th in the league. Look, I'm sure there's better options here, but I think McGonigal kind of deserves it. I think he's just been awesome. If you look at the AL, who else are you really thinking here? I think he's kind of the easy answer, unless you want to go the route of, I don't even know what route you'd want to go. Justin Crawford is an NL. Don't know why I just named him, but I'm trying to think of anybody that would even compare. And I can't really think of any. So, yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. Kevin McGonigal, you are my pick. AL Rookie of the Year right now. NL Rookie of the Year is tougher. Probably would have to give it. I don't know who I'd have to give it to. It might. I don't know. It's probably. It's somebody in the NL Central. If it's not, it could be Owen Casey. I obviously want to say Owen Casey because I picked him before the year, but I don't think it's him. I think probably you go Sal Stewart might just have to be it. This guy's been awesome. He's in .309 with 1,000 OPS, 4 homers. If the season ended right now, he'd win it. He would win it. So, Sal Stewart, NL Rookie of the Year pick for now. Now, pitching. Let's go Cy Young Award. Let's go with, let's start in the AL. And I might just have to go Jose Soriano, to be honest. I think it's got to be Jose Soriano. He's been pretty awesome. He would probably win it if it ended right now, in my book. Yeah, I don't know. Parker Messick's been awesome. I think he would be fun as an option, but I don't think he has the innings. Mason Miller in the NL, I'm going to get to that. Let's go Jose Soriano. He's 4-0. Voters like that. Leads the league in strikeouts. 3rd innings pitched. If he ended it right now, I think Jose Soriano might just win it. There's obviously people with 0 ERAs, but this guy's gone 7 innings, 0 runs, 10 Ks. 8 innings, 1 run, 10 Ks. 6 innings, 0 runs, 4 Ks. 6 innings, 0 runs, 7 Ks. Those are his 4 innings. Pretty incredible start for Jose Soriano. Really curious if he'll keep this up. And I'm going to go NL. I'm going to go Mason Miller. I don't care. Reliever winning it right now. The things he's doing, it's unreal. Strikes out everybody that he looks at. So I am totally rambling. This is way too long of an episode, so I'm just going to get through with this. My NL MVP probably just be Shohei. I don't know how you could put it any other way. He has a 996 OPS. He has 5 homers, which is 4th in the league, and he has a 0 ERA. He's been awesome on the bump. So, Shohei NL MVP if it ended today. AL MVP if it ended today might just go to Ben Rice, of all people. Leads the league in OPS. He's hitting 356, 14 runs, which is 3rd in the league. It'd either be him, maybe Jordan. He's got 6 homers on the year. He's hitting 340. He has a 1.255 OPS. Really good start for him. AL's tough here, but yeah, I guess Ben Rice. Ben Rice, you're my AL Rookie of the Year if it ended today. So, yeah. Obviously, those aren't going to stay there, but that's that. Panic meters. Let's get into it. Look, I'm just going to go about teams and show you how I feel about them on a panic meter scale. Giants. Not off to a good start. I'm going to put their panic meter right in the middle, though. I'm not too concerned about them. 6-10, but am I that worried? I don't think so. Nah, you know what? I will put on the panic meter. I'll put them a little panicked, because I am. I worry about some things, lineup-wise, pitching-wise, coaching-wise. I think there's some locker room things there. Giants fans, yeah, I'm a little worried. I'm a little panicked for you. I don't think playoffs is really looking likely right now. But what are you going to do about that? So that's my first panic meter. I'm going to put them pretty far on the panic scale. You'll see the picture right there. So anyways, panic scale for who else could we panic about? Let's see. Red Sox, 6-9. Panicked or not panicked? I'm going to go more on the not panicked side of things. I don't think I'm too worried about this Red Sox team. Like I said, the hitting's going to come around. The pitching's awesome. They're going to be just fine. Not panicked. Easy answer here. Blue Jays, 6-9. Panicked. Very panicked. Not going to make the playoffs. Just lost a series to the Twins. Lost a series to the Rockies. Got swept by the White Sox. Blue Jays, let's panic. Let's hit the panic button. Because I don't think this is the team that made the World Series. This is not. This is a 6-9 Blue Jays team that I frankly don't think is very good. So Blue Jays, panicked. Head to the AL Central. Nobody really to panic about, but let's do Tigers. And let's do Tigers. Panic meter, not panicked. Not panicked at all. 7-9, not panicked at all. I think the Tigers are legit. Not panicked at all. Pitching's good. Hitting's looks fine. I mean, shoot. I don't know. Would you be panicked if you're a Pirates fan? If you're a Tigers fan? Let me know. 9th in runs allowed, 9th in runs scored. Not panicked. Not panicked. They're going to be fine. Just early records don't quite matter. AL West. Astros 6-10. Panic meter. Slightly panicked, especially because I had them ranked really high in my rankings. I was really high on this Astros team going into this year because of the offense. And I figured they would just kind of figure out the pitching. But that pitching is cause for concern. It is panic. So, Astros, very panicked. Mariners, 7-9. I'm panicked. I worry about this offensive depth. Really bad. Defense, fine. They're always going to pitch. That's what they do. But it's at their ballpark. People are going to pitch against you too. And Mariners, I'm panicked. Next, NL East, Mets, 7-9. Not panicked. Not in the slightest. Juan Soto's injured right now. He'll be just fine. Francisco Lindor, he's going to be just fine. Not panicked in the slightest for the Mets. Pitching looks fun. Nolan McClain looks awesome. Not panicked. Not panicked in the slightest. Phillies 7-8. I'm a little panicked. I'm not going to overreact yet. 7-8, 7-8. It's one game below 500. You got to go play the Cubs, so going to be tough. Panicked about the offense a bit, so I'm going to go slightly panicked. Cubs 7-8. Not panicked at all. They got a lot of people hitting right around 200 right now. Just brutal hitting. And they're 7-8. Like, they have played awful baseball, and they're 7-8. Really not panicked in the slightest. NL West, we covered already. So that does it all on my panic meters. And, yeah, I mean, that's all. In terms of surprises, I mean, really the main surprise is probably the Twins and the Rays off to really good starts. Yeah, Twins is the biggest surprise, in my opinion. They've been ultimate surprise. They've just been incredible. My other surprise would probably go to Jordan Walker. He has really outdone himself so far. So, Jordan Walker, surprised. Really good start. Twins, very surprised because I think they are terrible, but they don't look terrible right now. So, that is everything for today's episode. That was a long one. It definitely won't be this long every time. I kind of had a lot to cover because I missed a lot of ball games. But, I mean, from here on out, it'll be once a week, so won't have as much to talk about. But if you have any ideas for a new segment, if you're actually watching this and anything like that, let me know. But until then, I appreciate you guys watching. And yeah, baseball season it's very early. Very early. Anything can happen. My panic meters might be wrong. Everything might be wrong. And a lot of things could change. So until next week, next Monday, I will see you guys. Hey, and feel free to use that SeatGeek code, by the way. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And see you next week. Peace.